Hello everybody, welcome to another Nephilim build. Today we're going to bring the thunder as Thor from Marvel Comics. As always, keep in mind that these videos are about capturing the spirit of the character rather than capturing their abilities perfectly. With that said, let's start with the ability scores. Using the standard point array, we'll put the 15 to strength. He's the god of strength, it had better be high. Next we'll put the 14 to charisma, you kind of can't help but love him. After that is the 13 in constitution, that bulk isn't just for show. We'll put the 12 into dexterity for AC, then the 10 to intelligence, and then dump wisdom. He's basically a frat boy with superpowers. For race, we're going to go with Asmar, putting our increases into charisma and constitution. We'll also get dark vision at 60 feet, celestial resistance, healing hands, and the light cantrip. I'll also speak common and celestial. We'll make a custom background taking history and religion and speaking elvish and sylvan. I am Groot. Moving on to class, we're going to start with fighter. We'll get strength and constitution saving throws, pick athletics and intimidation, and be proficient with all weapons, armor, and shields. At level 1, we'll get second wind in our fighting style, picking dueling. We're now going to multi-class to Hexblade Warlock, getting Hex Warrior and Hexblade's Curse. We'll get 2 cantrips, taking Booming Blade and Blade Ward. We'll also take Armor of Agathys and Hellish Rebuke. Wrong damage type, I know, but we can fix that later. We're now going to multi-class to Storm Sorcerer, getting Primordial and Tempestuous Magic. We'll get 4 cantrips, taking Shocking Grasp, Thunderclap, and Gust because Thor, and Prestidigitation for lightning effects. We'll also get 2 spells, taking Thunder Wave and Earth Tremor for Hammer Slammers. We'll also get our Celestial Revelation, taking Radiant Soul for Fly Speed. At level 2, we'll get Font of Magic and Featherfall because what is fall damage. At level 3, we'll get Meta Magic, taking Empowered Spell and Transmuted Spell. There's only so many spells that do lightning or thunder damage, so we're going to need this. We'll also take Enhanced Ability for superhuman feats. Back to Warlock. At level 2, we'll get our Invocations, taking Eldritch Mind. We won't have enough ability score improvements to get Warcaster. The other invocation won't matter yet. We'll also take Witch Bolt for our spell. At level 3, we'll get our Pact Boon, taking Pact of the Blade and Improved Pact Weapon, as well as Shatter. Mjolnir is looking good right now, but now we need to throw it. Back to Fighter. At level 2, we'll get Action Surge, and at level 3, we'll get our Martial Archetype. We'll go with Eldritch Knight, getting Weapon Bond. Throwing is now not viable, but definitely possible. We'll get 2 cantrips, taking Friends and Tree Strike to fill a slot. We'll also take Shield and Protection from Evil and Good for protections, and Long Strider for faster flying. At level 4, we'll take the Tough Feat and Absorb Elements for resistances. Back to Warlock. At level 4, we'll take the Elemental Adapt Feat for lightning. We only have room for 1 and we'll have more spells that naturally do lightning damage than thunder. We'll also take Green Flame Blade, Just Transmuted, and Expeditious Retreat. At level 5, we'll take Thirsting Blade and Elemental Weapon. Now, no one has said anything to me about this yet, but I do want to point out that Pact of the Blade says that if you create your Pact weapon, it counts as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage. This wording implies that for every other purpose, it counts as non-magical. Also, Improved Pact Weapon doesn't expressly say that it makes your Pact Weapon magical, just that it gets a +1 to attack and damage rolls. This means that your Pact Weapon is a viable target for Elemental Weapon. Back to Sorcerer. At level 4, we'll raise our Charisma. I made a big deal about strength in the beginning, but this will help us better. We'll also take... Ray of Frost, just transmute it. We'll also get Gust of Wind. At level 5, we'll get Magical Guidance and Lightning Bolt. At level 6, we'll get Storm Guide and Heart of the Storm. We'll also take Fly for another Fly Speed. This one's for getting to places, the other is for combat. At level 7, we'll take Erupting Earth. Just place it directly in front of you and pretend you're smashing the ground. At level 8, we'll cap our Charisma and take Thunder Step. The spell calls it teleporting, but I call it flying fast enough to break the sound barrier. At level 9, we'll take Tongues. He can do this. At level 10, we'll get another Meta Magic, taking Distant Spell. We'll also take Firebolt, just transmute it. We really ran out of viable cantrips with this one. We'll also take Control Winds. He can do this too, not much to say about it. Seriously, people tend to focus on the thunder and lightning and forget he can control winds too. At level 11, we'll take Chain Lightning for the biggest lightning blast in the history of lightning. Now that we're level 20, we finally have our modifiers. For inventory, we'll take a Light Hammer for Mjolnir. Yes, it's literally the worst hammer type in the game, but it's also the only one we can throw. We'll also take a Component Patch because technically our Pact weapon can only be used to cast our Warlock spells. I've been forgetting that. We'll also take a set of Scale Mail. It's what most closely fits his most iconic outfit. That said, if there's a version of Thor that wears plate armor, we have the strength for that. Our AC is 15, our movement speed is 30, and our average HP is 197 with 4d10, 5d8, and 11d6 hit dice. And with that, we are done. Now what can this build do? To start, we bring the thunder both at range and in melee with high damaging spells and the booming elemental weapon blade. Or boob as I call it. We also have all of our Heart of the Storm procs, and we even get some radiant damage in melee with Radiant Soul. Speaking of, we also have a Fly Speed and built-in healing. Our HP isn't bad either, and with Hellish Rebuke and Armor of Agathias, people are going to regret hitting us. For weaknesses, I took the literal worst version of the hammer just so I could throw it. And throwing isn't even worth it because we have better ways of doing ranged damage just because we ended up taking 2 different ranged attack cantrips. Speaking of, we'll be spending a lot of sorcery points transmuting spells. This build is also a slow burn with no real efficient leveling path. And then there's the Dumped Wisdom. Weaknesses aside, we're more than able to, say it with me, bring the thunder. Sorry, but there's like one joke you can tell with Thor. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to support my channel, there's a link to my Patreon down in the description. $1 a month gives you 2-day early access to my videos, a chance to vote for future characters, and access to all of my homebrew content. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments, and I'll see you all next week when I make Green Lantern from DC Comics.